Yeah, I would suspect that they're gonna have to really try and bring it to Velia and Nemesis. Maybe they've got an early game pathing plan ready. Noodle has been one of the junglers of all time in the NLC.
And drop down to Nord as they kind of got wrecked. Not to put too fine a point on it, it was a really good series of them. As absolutely right, story time will have to wait. Shiganari flashing away, but Reckless waiting here as down comes the level 3 Neferi. Hot dogs for dinner. And Shiganari is feeling a little overfull and will die for first blood to the dog in the jungle.
Very nice invade. Takes the blue buff, takes the Gromp, and then wraps around. Shiganari and Obstinatus have absolutely no idea. Because even though they were deep woods, Velia managed to actually wrap around them as Mouse will die once for now. Noodle tried to take the double scuttle coming through from Noodle right here. Mouse, that's a flash.
To try and punish this, eviscerating forward is Velia. Tehran going to be a little late. Nemesis flashing over here. Forced to flash out of those Jins out. Charm onto Tehran, who is going to get hit up by that rupture as Nemesis for a second or two, but they can keep on hunting. Call of the Pack buys a bit of time. Another eviscerate, and the Dark and Daggers keep on going through. And Nemesis gets another. Los Ratones off to the races. It's there as well. And Noodle, NLC Vet, will be looking to help push Verdant that little step further. But of course, to get there, they have to do a little bit of giant slaying. Los Ratones are looking to make sure they recover well from that upper bracket humbling they ended up receiving against the run of affairs as Bowsy gets ignited, and that's just a kill to Shiganari.
Here could end up being very deadly for the Varus, but as you can see right here, Los Ratones is sort of sandwiching in towards the Void Grabs. The TP is going to come through though from Tehran.
Hook lands. That's Baus getting rooted by the deadly first. Reckless trying to buy some time. Headbutts Obstinatus into the middle of the pit. Tehran now teleports into himself. Looking to play this out. Can start to play around the grubs. Maybe he can smite one away. Looking to get some kills back. They've already nabbed one of the grubs. Have Lost Returns. They get the feats of warfare as well. As of course Crowny picks up a kill. Charm into the knockup. Into the dead Cho'Gath. Not looking so much like a void monster as a tutorial boss.
Yeah.
And really good positioning from Reckless on that Alistair. Gets the headbutt back. Puts Obstinatus in an awful position. Baus now is somehow very deep, and I suspect he will be going down here. Has got a flash. Where is he going? Of course he's going to the wave. He's heading for the farm. He'll get knocked up, but he'll be able to clear out the wave at the very least. Baus will never change, will he? Gets feasted, so there's some stacks in the inventory of Tehran, but there you go. He creates when he presses Q. It's pretty awesome. Fight around the dragon, though. So musing about skins. May have to wait a second as everyone's trying to fight for vision in the banana bush. Velia will go untargetable for a second. Headbutt pulverized from Reckless. Brings down Obstinatus. Has a heat-seeking engage on that other support. Noodle going to try and find a moment. Does not get to Crescent God anywhere near in time to keep himself alive. A knock up onto the Cho'Gath. And again, the monster falls. Lost Returns have been clinical in these team fights.
Yeah, I feel Verdant are really weighing the situation when they're trying to fight for those neutral objectives. There's actually no wards, there's no vision, there's no formation. More than 30% of his team's entire damage distribution, and that's throughout the entirety of playoffs, right? So it's within series that they've dominated and within series that were hard for them. Obstinatus right here. Oh, in No Man's Land. Oh, boy. Well.
Is it Call of the Pack? That's the W. What's the R button again? I'm having a moment. It'll have to wait as I muse on ability names later. Nemesis in a 1v1 with Sankux. Noodle coming down as well, but Nemesis just gets to press R a few times and run away. On. So I don't know how quickly and how long they can stick around. Velia are at 2/3 HP, but again with the Dark and Dite going to be healing. Charm onto Obstinatus. As Nemesis has decided to stick around. Reckless and Crowny now here, as is Sankux. They really want to potentially contest this. Noodle's gone very deep. Presses the R button. In comes the depth charge, but feels a little bold to throw down those ultimates. Flash for the charm. Flash in response. Keeps at least Obstinatus alive. TPs, I hear, beginning to fly on down towards his pulse. Obstinatus took the wall. Over the wall they're going regardless, but it's a double pulverized knockup. They'll bring down Crowny. Sankux still firing over the wall. Tehran is here as well. And I think Lost Ratones may have bitten off a little more than they can actually chew. Remember, Nemesis, no ult, gets feasted, goes down as well. And now Velia in danger in a 1 versus 4. Verdant have found a lot. You can call the back all you want. No one's on the other end of the phone. And a shutdown goes the way of Sankux as Verdant find a huge fight in the bot side. They played out really well as a great curtain call angle and a great teleport, and you can't ask for too much better. That puts Verdant right back in contention. They're still down 2,000 odd gold though. And Lost Returns look like they want to play around this as Reckless. Forced to ult and back away. Turn onto the hook lands and a charm in turn, but here comes the Weaver's Wall. And Lost Returns, these last few plays have not been fantastic. A chunk on Develio who eviscerates away. Baus is also now ulted on in. They get the knock up with the multi-man headbutt pulve. Health bars are low, and actually Baus can start autoing. I take it all back. There's the Hound's Pursuit, and Tehran can do what he wants, can't get in range to get the feast down. The health bar wasn't executable. Shiganari cleanses and begins to run away, hit with that Q, and Baus won't chase for him more, but actually good counter-punch from Los Ratones after the start of the fight got a little ugly.
On the side of Verdant, no amount of, I keep forgetting the word. No amount of tenacity, there you go, I found it, is going to negate the amount of knockups, right? The Cho'Gath, the Thalia, the Nautilus, they've got really potent C's if they can change together.
That was a counter-strike angle there. Man was getting collaterals the entire fight. Do you see how many multi-man Qs he got straight through everyone at the back end of that fight? Nasty stuff from the Varus. Nemesis, though, now looking for an ult, following up with this Ari, and Senkux flashes the charm, but where is he going? Over the wall comes Dobsonata's multi-man dredge line. And depth charge, I apologize, that's the name of the ultimate. Velia trying to hop away, will get knocked up by the 3 Talon Strike, and Los Ratones have gone a little deep. They'll change the corruption, try to turn this around. Does feel like those counter-punches still being very dangerous. Ends up being a 1-for-none in favor of Verdant as they blow a few summoners to come and save their mid laner's life.
Being on their sides, or at least something else being taken on the other side of the map. And right here, Verdant, they're going to capitalize on the fact that there's no smite on the side of Los Ratones. They'll take that Rift Herald and...
A silver lining bit of CC, but Nemesis, look at the angle. The charm is phenomenal. And Crowny knocks down what Nemesis sets up. Reckless goes forward, does get knocked up here, has to flash away to Noodle as Baus looks for the lane gank by driving straight down mid lane. Nemesis still got the ult to run with for a second or two more. Can look for a charm angle, lands it around the minions onto that Cho'Gath, who's a lot tanky now than he once was. But is he tanky enough to survive? Is for the moment. Baus throws up the Soul Furnace. You're over the wall goes Velia. Gets stunned up briefly, but chased onto Obstinatus. It's a double for Crowny. Gets a reset on the Hound's pursuit. Velia will go untargetable with the call of the pack. Sends those dogs straight after Noodle, who might be turning into dinner like his namesake. Gets in trouble though as he throws down the Crescent Guard, does pick off the Bias as he tries to get a few more autos down as a zombie. And the Cranberries have the right of it. What's in his head going this deep? The Dark Daggers land! And Nemesis helps get another with the very tip of the Q. Wait, curtains are called, and how many shots can they land? What's the dancing? She's like, Cranny nearly flashed into that bullet.
We're actually following up with this one, so they actually got caught underneath their own towers, and Los Ratones picked them up one by one as Nemesis has found himself another target.
He has so much ability. Haste's ult is basically on no cooldown. Keeps chasing, gets another for Crowny, who's now going to his 9th kill of the game. Charm just wide.
Onto the Nautilus, take this one down as well. What is happening? The replay is down in the bottom left as we're taking a dive straight onto the mid lane tower.
Well, Herald was taken by Verdant, so they'll charge it through mid lane and get a double charge off, which is nice for them. As the cacophony stops just briefly. And we'll turn instead to look at things like Hextech Dragon, which will be spawning in relatively short order. Charge now onto Shiganari, who was kind of split off from his team, trying to back away from the Baus. Got a lot of damage with this Titanic Hydra, gets knocked up by the Rupture, will be in feast range shortly. And Tayron will indeed press the R button, and Baus's zombie runs at a few people and tries to get a few more love taps down. No pun to Misfortune's kit required.
Yeah, top right though, 17 seconds until next. Dragon and Verdant are very, very quickly trying to reset right there. Obstinatus.
Oh,
mate,
boy.
You're on the wrong side of the moon. And this is going to be a 1-for-1. So full versus full. And let's see if Senkax not just to wall in, try and get something from that 4v4.
Would be a 4v4 because of course Baus is down, but then instead is the soul for Los Ratones. They get the full job with 4 dragons in a row at 23 minutes. Now turning it around by that extra lightning to their name. And somewhere out there, there's a God of Thunder or two who are approving it. This is Nemesis into the backside, multi-man slow, as the lightning begins to ground itself in the skulls of Verdant, trying to get the shutdown onto Shikanari, but Nemesis manages to bring that down in a 1-for-1. Maybe not the cleanest they'd like, actually, as Senko's running away from Velia. Knockup now onto that dog who manages to eviscerate away to safety. Ends up being a 2-for-2, so not as clean as Los Ratones were hoping as they went diving with their newly gained Hex Soul and got a little bit too greedy with their newfound power.
The early game trying to get the Nafiri fed with all those kills as Reckless. It's gonna headbutt onto Obstinatus as Obstinatus cues the wall. And I feel like right here for Verdant, this will be their biggest test as they try to get some vision towards that Baron pit.
Quite deep for the Baus. I think he might be in trouble. Gets knocked up, flashes away. Curtains are called. Tayron, they're taking some big damage back. Down to about 10% HP, but over the wall goes Nemesis. Charm onto a key member of Noodle, who now Crescent Guards, but it might be a little too little and a little too late. Down to a 3rd HP. Charm onto Nemesis and stunned up. It's not a charm, but it feels like it. That Deadly Flourish was the lucky charm that Verdant needed. Pick off on the mid laner.
Baron up. 30 seconds for Nemesis. Does have the TP to get in. But that is just from Bella to try and...
He's gone.
Well...
Or not. There's the
Never mind.
bleed. Gets it in the end. And unfortunate. Noodle can't quite escape as the Dark Daggers do their work. Hop over the wall away from the Rupture, and suddenly what felt like a moment where Verdant might be able to find something is quickly turned back into an even state of affairs. And unfortunately for Verdant, they don't have a smite up, and guess what's in front of them, Georgia? It's Baron.
Absolutely. They do not have a smite, but they have something that is quite equivalent to one. They've got a Cho'Gath around with a feast, so this can get pretty scary if Cho'Gath gets anywhere near the pit. But as you can see right here, Los Ratones, particularly Baus and Reckless, have made it their life's mission to not let this Cho'Gath anywhere near the pit.
Nemesis back in TP'd in. Suganari looking for an angle. They are doing their very best to keep the Cho'Gath away. Root, though, onto Nemesis, begins to ult on out. Reckless will get the Pulverize onto Obstinates, and there is Baron secured. You asked them to keep the Cho'Gath out the pit, and Lost Returns heard the mission statement, and will even get a bonus to Lear at the end of it all.
And right here, let's be honest, Obstinates has this Hex Flash away from that bush, and there's going to be a push towards the top side of the map for Los Ratones. They've got the Baron, they've got 5 members, and they're looking for the first inhibitor towers.
In comes the Hound's pursuit, and Nautilus finds his diving suit full of a lot of holes. Tayron now in danger, tries to find some value, can't quite get a kill with that feast. Value low, but I don't think he cares all that much. The curtain's being called, but unfortunately for Jin, I think it's his team that'll be forced to take the bow. The spell shield tanks the 4th bullet, and Suganari suddenly wishing he could counter 5.
Ooh, plain textbook right here from Los Ratones. Taking that mid lane inhibitor tower and the inhibitor as well. I mean, that's pretty good, right? You back off, you take your money, put it in your pocket, make it into items, and then just guarantee yourself a pretty clean game.
Got to try and find a way into this river without getting picked off on the way, and that's going to be no easy feat. All the while, look where Baus and Crowny are. They're in the base getting the final inhibitor.
Yeah, I think they're going to be threatening to actually end the game, because if you look on the top side of the map, there is already a wave running into the base. So Verdant right here, not only are they running back to the base, but now they're also surrounded.
Obstinate is going to get jumped on. There's the headbutt. The Pulverize come a little deep for this one, but Reckless can make himself very tanky with the press of an R button, and his will is very unbreakable, as is his body. Unfortunately, on the other side, Verdant look mighty breakable indeed, and LR take him over an E and snap him in half. Thrown off the Hell in a Cell through the announcer stairs, 16 feet or whatever the meme is. It has been a shellacking, a bloodbath. What is it, 44 kills in under 30 minutes. Los Ratones came here to play. They want to go to Denmark and they want to do it fast. They'll do game 1 at the very least in style.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.